I've always wondered if the depression that people see en masse today, there's so much depression that people, it's a common trait. Like it's a common condition. Oh, he suffers from depression. Oh, she suffers from depression. Like, oh, he's got herpes, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a common thing.
And you have to remember that many of the things that are holding you down are rules that you don't even realize are rules. And as General Douglas MacArthur said, you're remembered for the rules you break. And right now, you're following rules that you don't even realize exist. And some of those rules are simply what is okay to dream. But I'm here to tell you, the power is in recognizing that you can do it.
And you understood that you don't need to go back to that mistake again. And yes, sometimes you may make the same mistakes, but those mistakes can be even more crucial.
You can allow things that are holding you back to take control of your life. I've experienced many things in my life. I've had my good days and I've had my bad days. I've had happy days and I had sad days. I've had my victories. And I've also had my losses, but I kept moving. I kept believing. There was a time in my life I didn't think that I could go on. I believed that there was nothing else I can do. I felt hopeless.
I've always wondered, or I've been wondering more and more recently. It really hit me when, have you ever seen Heinmo's Arctic Adventure? This guy lives in this incredibly remote area of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge in the Alaskan interior. And he lives in this really small log cabin, and he hunts and gathers, and that's all he does. And he's very smart. Like, he's not a dummy at all. And he's been up there. He lives with his wife, and he raised children up there. And it's really, there's some dark moments in there because they lived like this from the time, like, when they had children up there, and they lost their 2-year-old baby in a fucking canoe. Like, they tipped over in a canoe and lost their kid. And it's like, it's really intense.
In your life. And this is why you must continue to push forward and get rid of the things that are not making you better. The battle continue. Carry on. Be productive. Be powerful. And from the bottom of my heart, conduct your business. Lights, camera, action.
When they revisit the site and leave flowers, and it was like 30 years ago, and they had several children since then, but this moment is still like this intense moment of loss for them when they lost their baby. But this fucking guy is very happy and very, very smart and very connected and very articulate. And he firmly believes that human beings, when we evolved and developed and we're hunter-gatherers, that there's a set of rewards. There's reward systems that are set up inside the human body, inside the very being that we embody, that don't get met in today's society. And that's one of the things that's causing depression. One of the things that's causing this funk that people are in is that we're living our lives, many of us at least, in these very unfulfilling ways, where you're going to this office with artificial light and you're doing something you don't want to do all day long, and then you get home and you're tired.
How much action do you have flowing through your veins right now? How far are you willing to push yourself? Or are you the type of person that likes to sell wolf tickets, like to fake the funk, pretending you're doing something when you're really not? How much effort are you honestly putting into your craft, into your ideas, into your work? Whatever it is that you got going on in your life, what are you prepared to do? Action. Think about that for a minute. How long have you been stuck in a rut, constantly making the same mistakes over and over again? But there's nothing wrong with mistakes. But why do you keep making them? The same mistakes. Keep making yourself, putting yourself in a position where you can't go beyond those mistakes. Constantly making excuses. All you're doing is preaching. All you're doing is putting out words. But there's no action. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to put the action in.
I felt afraid, and it was a time when I was weak, when I needed to be strong. No matter the circumstances, you can do it. No matter the circumstances, you can make it. Because negativity doesn't own you, so if you're surrounding yourself with people or things that is not making you better, I suggest you move forward. There are negative people in the world, because most of the times we tend to listen to the outside instead of what we have on the inside.
The power is in having the arrogance of belief. The power is in understanding that you, yes, you are going to be capable of something simply because you are willing to believe in yourself. And that's the thing. It's a willingness to believe in yourself. No one's going to give it to you. Even the people that love you, they're not going to give you that. They are incapable of giving it to you. People cannot see past their limitations, and they take them for truth. People actually believe the things that have stopped them will forever not only stop them, but they will stop other people. How can they hope to give you anything but limitation?
And everybody's got a list of problems. Everybody. The rich merely ask for a longer list. But solving problems is a real challenge, and there's all kinds of problems. Business problems, family problems, personal problems, financial problems, mental problems, emotional problems. We've all got these challenges. But that's the game of life, how to take it like it is and make it like you want it. How to turn resources into productivity. Human resources, physical resources, solving problems. That's the challenge of life and lifestyle.
If you're living, you've got to keep going, you've got to keep fighting, you've got to keep pushing. Don't let negativity take you out and destroy your possibilities. It's all up to you. What are you afraid of? What's holding you back? What's putting you in a position that you feel that you can't go on? Do you have this mindset of thinking that because fear is in your way that you're supposed to stop moving?
So if you know that even the people that love you, what they're handing you is limitation with the best of fucking intentions, with all the love in the world, how are you going to break out of that? How are you going to break past those rules? How are you going to fight the anxiety that inevitably comes your way when you think about going against the grain? But my friends, until you can do that, you can never get beyond the bullshit that limits you. If people said gravity is what it is, we never would have reached escape velocity. And yet, as a species, we have been able to hurl a fucking rocket into space, get it outside of gravity, take us to other planets. That is real only because somebody said, I refuse to be held down by the most obvious rule that we have, the one that everybody says is beyond reproach, and that is gravity. But even gravity will break under the weight of a superior will. So recognize, as Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Can you be content to be thought foolish and stupid?
See, the challenge is how to be happy with what you got. You got something. The next key is how can you be happy with it? It's a challenge. It's a problem. It needs to be solved. I met Neil Armstrong one time. First man to step his foot on the moon. Neat guy. I met him in Chicago. Neil Armstrong said, going to the moon was simply a matter of solving problems. That's the way he described it. The trip to the moon was just solving problems. So no telling where you can go if you solve the problems. No telling what kind of a journey you can take. Just solve the problems. Now, let me give you some keys on problem solving that really helped to alter my life. Problem solving. First, work out your problems on paper, not just conversation and thinking.
There are many people right now that are looking through a window, but have no clue what's going on inside of the house. This is your sanctuary. What's in you is what's in you. And if you carry the right information within inside you, nothing else will matter. Nothing else can touch you. You're still going to have your battles. You're still going to have your ups and downs. You're still going to be to a point where you say you're done, but You're not done, it's not over. Let weakness do what it does and then turn it up and show out, and from the bottom of my heart conduct your business. I will not quit. I will not fail and give in to certain circumstances. That doesn't give me enough ammunition to carry on. You've got to have the strongest mindset ever when quit starts to show up in your life. There are going to be certain things that you're going to have to endure in your life, and sometimes failing is going to be one of them. Not everything is going to be easy for you, in fact. You do not want the word easy to even exist in your life. You have to understand the simple fact that this is just the way life is,